Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be analyzing another impeccable video on the Amberzonian leaders, understanding exactly what is going on behind the scenes that many people are blinded to. I just want to start by saying, on this platform, our target audience are Cameroonians below the age of 40. If you are above the age of 40 and you support our initiative that we can achieve freedom, prosperity without people dying, we welcome you. But if you think otherwise, then this platform is not for you. Today, you will get to realize what has really been going on, what the leaders think at this point, and most importantly, the way forward. Because I'm going to be outlining some steps that is going to help us have perspective so that we can be, do, and have all that God created us to have as the young people of English speaking Cameroon. So guys, take a look.
Pikin, he enter for inside Bali. Christmas Eve, he did the drink mimbo with friend them. Our own boys them, they don't can catch you. As I tell now, some boy then they for inside Bali where they don't go off hand. Nobody one the way then they now grandpa is picking them. Grandpa for Bali picking them, but one the way they don't go off hand because that group they so since political leadership you know get a stronghold of them. Some group they walk their own way where they walk them. Last time I be done tell say so one they can begin make roadblock for around Pinying area for the we cause a lot of problem for our population. This boy, they rank
want this video.
Okay. So, what is going on right now in Bali? The gentleman speaking is Capo Daniel. He's one of the activists of the Ambazonia movement. He's really played a crucial role in fostering this whole initiative of Ambazonia. But before we get to the end of this video, we will have perspective on this particular character because we've observed his content extensively to understand his perspective on things regarding this entire independent movement. He just released a video regarding a gentleman who traveled from abroad, came back, and was hanging around with his friends in the bar in Bali. He was captured by the Amba forces and he was killed. Guys, this is the reality that we are facing. Are you guys following? I've said this time again and again, people will never at the end of the day judge you based on your intentions. People will judge you based on your results. And all the leaders that are advocating for this initiative of independence, I encourage you to be ready to take accountability for your actions. Because the people of the Northwest and the Southwest will never ever forget these atrocities. And that young man lost his life. And another story followed, which is as a result of these killings that have happened during this festive period. You realize that one of the soldiers, because we heard there was a bomb in T Junction, there was a bomb that exploded and killed one civilian. And one of the mastermind behind this whole initiative, the gentleman was killed as well by soldiers, and he was caught in a bar somewhere in Bamenda. So that is the story we have so far. We will explore more because there's a lot. Guys, stay glued to your screen. We are going to unpack a lot, and I want to take my time and make sure that we get the best out of this session. So we are going somewhere, and stay glued to your screen because we are going to also be showing you the path as to the way forward. Because young people are waking up right now. They are beginning to realize that these leaders have screwed us. They've deceived us. They've lied to us. And you've sat on the sidelines for all these years hoping that they would do something. But they have no clue about what they are doing. They have no plan. They think this is some kind of a paper that you go into an examination room and write on your aspirations in life. And so they pick up some little jargons about how life will look like when they have Ambazonia. You have all of this utopia, which is unrealistic. And most of them don't have a clue about what they're talking about. So guys, we are going to unpack all of that as we move through this video. So guys, let's keep watching.
Good. Now, I need everybody, make everybody look at this image of this man. Look at that image, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that image. This is a prisoner, Ambazonian prisoner of war. This is an Ambazonian prisoner of war. Now, if you look at the leg on your left, you can see that his leg on the left is chained to the bed. Again, look at him. The leg that you see on your left is chained to the bed. Now, if you look at the leg,
backed by the state.
Okay, so that is Chris Anu. He made a video regarding a gentleman that was an amber fighter that was captured by the army. He's in the hospital right now, and he's been in the hospital for about 6 years, as he explained. So Chris Anu is another advocate, right? Another leader, another president for this movement. And he resides in the diaspora as well. So most of these leaders that I'm talking about, most of them are in the diaspora. Most of them are the one talking for what is happening back home. So they are the one giving orders, giving instructions as to what the Amber soldiers should do back home. So he made a very interesting comment in this video. We have a lot to cover today, so I want to make sure that we get the meat of this. We get the real juice out of this content. So if you want to check the video and watch the entire video, you can go look it up on YouTube. So he's making mockery of the government to say, look at how they chained this amber fighter on the bed even while he's in the hospital. And I'm saying we are dealing with a very difficult situation here. Realistically speaking, no amber fighter has caught a soldier and kept them alive. Put them in a hospital, treat them, give them food, and take care of them. None. If you're caught in harm's way, you get killed. But the government has the sympathy to preserve the life of this young man, and he's receiving treatment. Do you see the difference? When they catch you, like we just heard the story of a young man who left. Most of you guys in the diaspora have not had the opportunity to go back home. You would have loved to go back home all these years. There's no way for you to go back home because the entire city is ungovernable, as they say. So there is no hope. There's no way for you to even go back home. And they've had this fairy tale. And the purpose of this video is for me to help every English-speaking Cameroonian to understand this myth of this utopia. Because one of the strategies they use is they went on to say, this is how Ambazonia is going to look like. We're going to have this fairy tale. We're going to have schools. We're going to have jobs. We're going to have this resource is exploited and the people will have a good life. They went on and on to paint that picture. And I know what they are doing. I know these games that they are playing because I can see it, because most of them are not competent and their strategies are flawed. Are you guys seeing? But yet they come online. They don't give up. They keep talking, right? Because that is how they keep extorting money from the people and to keep their so-called Ambazonia alive. When we started this analysis, I was trying to make sense out of what these people were doing. I was trying to make sense out of it, to even think that there's something rational about what they are doing. And as I begin to dig deep into what they are doing, I realize it's all a facade. It is a facade, the biggest facade of all time. And our people will rise up someday, and they are beginning to wake up right now to see this game that they are playing and the mastermind that they've orchestrated to put our people in this condition. So let's keep watching, guys.
Which you don't make a lot of African countries need to develop. They not invest for their people then. When you invest for the health of the people then, when you create a healthy citizen, the population will be healthy, and therefore you get a productive society. Second, education. When you start for educate picking them, you grow them, you raise them in love, in playfulness, in happiness, and you nurture them. Just like how we nurture garden, we take care of our garden, we take care of our picking them, we raise them for the best environment, morally, socially, culturally, for put them for sports, make they develop better bone structure, flexibility, agility, for develop their skin, they develop fine. So that we're picking them will be weak. And then we'll put them for the best education system. Now, all that thing, when people go for school, the chop we begin the chop for school. Now the government they pay. Picking the books, now government they pay. Picking from house for go for school. If it is staying for town or for city, for morning time, picking go only woke up, stand for front door. Motor, bus, school bus, he pass. He pick picking. He open door, chakum, door open. The inside the bus go call the picking name because we put computer inside. As you enter, it go tell you, "Good morning, the good Ambazonian citizen."
Where?
Today is going to be a very happy day at school. Picking go shit on you inside bus. If not during rainy season, that bus now we go the cold, they go get hit inside. If not during dry season, we place the hot. Small picking, he enter inside, he get his she don't find for nice bus clean.
Oh Lord.
Bus, listen, they be packed. People they will clean them, they wash them, they wipe, they sip them, they clean all things. We're picking now, they come out with the clean uniform, clean shoes, everything clean. Because that picking where they picking for mommy front door. Mommy no need for worry. Say, oh, I got to go drop picking for school. I got to go picking for school. This our country take care of all those things so that mommy then now they go be for take care of home, for focus for their jobs, for make sure say they take care of my family.
Okay, that is the euphoria that they have disguised this whole Ambazonia initiative under, to present to these people that there is some hope of a better nation that they will create when they achieve independence. Let's hear what Ronald Reagan has to say about that.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Stubborn on the...
I want us to repeat that again. Okay.
You all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Okay. So this is one of the most classy precedents that ever existed right here in the United States of America. After being a president, Ronald Reagan said, the most terrifying word in the dictionary is I am from the government and I'm here to help. When I say these things that Pobia is not the problem, the people that have been conditioned by these so-called leaders, these so-called smart people, to think that somehow the government ought to do for them what they would do for themselves, and they go around spreading all these false ideas about the kind of nation they will create. Your strategy to achieve your independence and to bring peace to your people can tell me the kind of leader you will be if we achieve this independence. I just want to say to you guys right here, the leaders, if you are watching me, forget this illusion. You guys are not informed enough to transform your own life. Talk less of transforming a nation or achieving independence. None of you guys have had the courage to go fight with these soldiers. None of you guys have had the courage to even provide resources for your soldiers to fight. None of you have the expertise to even lead the soldiers. And right now you got to accept that you're not competent even to stop this fight, to stop this madness that is going on in our land. We are all citizens of that land, children of that land. And we have a voice to disagree with your ideas if it doesn't work. If your ideas is not yielding results, because all we care about is results. At the end of the day, we've given you guys 7 years and you've not produced anything. We've lost more people than we can ever think of in the history of that nation. I want to repeat that again. We've lost more people than ever in the history of that nation through this and this madness that you guys are propagating. And you're delusional enough to think that it is a possibility. Ronald Reagan said the most terrifying words in the dictionary is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. No government does that, guys. When I'm saying these things, that's why I play Ronald Reagan, because when I talk here, people think I'm not ignorant. I'm not your average propagandist. I'm not. And we are going to liberate our nation. And it's not through your strategy. We will create more millionaires in the next 10 years, millionaires in dollar in Cameroon in the next 10 years than you guys have been able to do in the past 7 years without yielding any result. And yet we have this number of people that have died. We are going to create an economy. We, the young people. And that's why we draw the line 40 and below. We don't want to deal with that madness anymore, because moving forward, this idea has to die. This idea will not exist again in Cameroon. And anyone that will propagate this kind of idea, we will not take it lightly with them. Even if you're young within our age group, if you have this kind of idea in your head, because it is the greatest deception of all time, that people will take past events and condition young people for their entire life to think this way. Government doesn't do anything for people, guys. 90% of the jobs in America is created by the private sector. These guys have never run any business. How can they even run a successful business? If you ask them how, they will tell you resources in the ground. We'll dig the resources, sell, and then feed the people. But you guys will find out today what happens when a government decides to do what they just promised you. You will see the outcome of that kind of a government. Okay? These politicians sell these lies all the time, right? You see it on TV. At the end of the day, it doesn't turn out to be true. You see what I'm saying? The inhabitants of Cameroon will build Cameroon. Because what happens is, guys, if you, with your brain, with your talent, build a business, build a community, you would take care of that community. You guard that community. If you invested your time and your money and your talent to develop that community, that is why America succeeds. That is why the West succeeds, because the people build their community. And so they will not take, you see why they are destroying places and destroying people the way they are doing? Because they have no investment back home and they don't care about the people. If any of those guys propagating secession had a stake back home, they would have reconsidered their decisions. And that is why I tell the people down, these guys don't care about you. I'm talking as someone who lives in the diaspora. And if there's anything you can even believe someone, believe what I'm telling you. I live here in America, the best nation on earth. Government doesn't do this. This kind of government is not sustainable. So just to tell you that their ideas are all flawed. They don't have a clue about what they are doing. The Bible says when the blind leads the blind, they will fall inside a pit. So if you're following a blind person, the outcome of your life is disastrous. Let's keep.
Stubborn. Understand that you are to train their will. Make them stand enough to say no. If you kill that thing, they will not be able to say no to outsiders. James, sit down there. Hey, mommy, no. They are curious. Why should I sit down? Explain. See, the problem in Africa begins from childhood because we kill curiosity. We kill the ability to explain. So we are trying to raise children like zombies. You don't question, you obey. And no society change until you question realities. You must question. We just say these things and say, when I talk to you, you don't complain. No, they should ask questions. That's how it starts. They are curious. They are wondering, why would you just saw this actual of the cartoon? Children who are raised with explanation become better than those who are raised with force. And that's why when many children step out of their parent house, they know they will never come back because a soldier raised them. You didn't raise a friend. You can't give what you.
When a soldier raises a kid, the kid never returns. This is the thing, guys. He said a lot in that video. We have been conditioned, especially in Northwest, where I was born, not to question leaders, not to question their decisions, not to question your fathers, not to question your mothers, just obey. And this brother from Nigeria just put it so eloquently, so profoundly, so that we can understand. And that is why I'm picking sound bites of these messages from everywhere so you can get my train of thought. You have the right to question your parents when you're rational. Because children that don't question their parents, you watch them, you go to university, you study, you come back home and you see them keep doing things the same way they've been doing and you don't question it. And they say, forget that school. What I say in this house stands. No, ma'am, I'm going to question this. You sent me to school so I can come back and improve our conditions. And so when I come back and I'm talking, you got to listen. And this is the thing with Cameroon, guys. We live in this community setting. When the group agrees on something, no one else should challenge that. Even if when we deem that this is not working. Most of you are abroad and back home. Some of you are not rising to question these things because I've talked, more than 90% of the people back home don't want this struggle anymore. I mean, I've talked to them on phone. They do not want this. Do you guys get that? That the people don't want it? But because you guys have this agenda, you're making money out of the struggle. If it stops, you guys know you're in exile. You never come back home. So with that, you're stuck, right? But guys, a brave man is not a man that meets a gridlock and keeps fighting. But a man that meets a gridlock and you're brave enough to step back and accept defeat. When you accept defeat, you prepare better and also think and plan the next time you attempt something like this. And what I'm trying to get us to understand is most of these guys didn't prepare. Scouting a location, they'll say, oh, Ayabacho went down to Cameroon and looked at the geographical location. How is that working for you today? When all your soldiers are being killed, some of them are surrendering to the DDR camp. How is that preparation? You see what I'm saying? Scouting a location is just one aspect of fighting. I'm not saying this here as a dumb person. I've read more than 10 books just on war. So when they are talking about people just come and try to bash them. No, some people, oh, you see what I'm saying? when I stand to question what you guys are doing because I see how flawed your plans are, and people say, oh, your black leg, they've paid you. And it's shocking. If you guys think they paid me, then I really understand what you guys are up to. If you think, we don't like independent thinkers. We don't like people who stand up and say they are brave, they are smart, they are talented, they know what they are talking about. We do not want that. And guess what? That is why we continue to remain broke. In America, if someone stands up and say, I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm intelligent, I can prove to you that what I'm saying is accurate. Guess what? They will say, prove it. And I have demonstrated, even looking at the video with Issa Churuma Bakari and Chris Anu, and I have demonstrated to you guys how I will handle that kind of conversation. I don't just badge people here. I show you what you're doing, and I show you what you should be doing and or what not to do. I'm educating the people as well, because some of you will pick up what I'm saying here and go run businesses. You will pick up what I'm saying here and have a better life. It's not just about us gathering to badge leaders. We are showing to you guys the products that came out of us. These people were once little children in our communities that have grown up and they're doing this. And that's how I see them. Because I don't see Cameroon as a nation that started in 1960. That is how they are locked in their brains. Very, very myopic. I go way back as 1472, see the evolution of our nation. They have not stretched their thinking in this capacity. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? They have not stretched their thinking in this capacity. I go way back as 1472 and I look at the evolution, I study and analyze. My team and I, we put together this entire concept of Cameroon, this nation of Cameroon, and then we analyze the progression over time. And then we realize, come on, we've spent more time together as Cameroonians than we are apart under Britain or France. Ask them the question, where was Ambazonia in 1884? Where was Ambazonia in 1472? Where was Ambazonia when the Carthaginians came some 2,000 years ago? They won't give you an answer. They're stuck in the past, a limited past, a past with insufficient data. As a strategic business analyst, we make sure that if we get to a place where we realize that the data you have to solve your problems is not sufficient, we stretch. Because what we are initiating, what I am initiating in Cameroon through our program is going to transform our nation, help us have more, build for the next 10 generations, foster unity in Africa, foster unity with Africa and the world in a capacity that these people with their myopic thinking can't even fathom. And when someone stands up to be brave, the people who challenge them are the ones that will put poison in your food because they are threatened of your greatness. They are threatened about your courage. When they see you that courageous, powerful, and smart, and articulate, and eloquent, they are threatened. The first thing is to label you. When they label you, it's easy to kill you. And I understand that strategy. It's so simple. It's so basic. You guys should upgrade your strategy. Because if you call me all those names, it just tells me more of who you are. Anyone that is a crook, that goes around taking bribe, that manipulates the people and extort money from them, always thinks that everyone else out here is like that. You cannot think opposite to your programming. There is no way you should think that you are fighting a just cause and then you hear what I'm saying and then you think that I have been bought. It's because you have been bought. And what you are propagating, you know exactly that is not a just cause. And God is not for you guys. And that is why you think this way. Just listen to their rhetorics. Anyone that tries immediately to label someone and try to just castigate that person, just look at how they talk. Listen to their plans. Their brain is wired consistently with their programming on the mission that they have embarked on. And you realize that it's all a facade. And they are just playing games with people's lives, playing games with people's properties. Some of them are just jealous of people that have succeeded under circumstances like the one that we find ourselves in Cameroon, and they have not been able to do the same. Are you guys understanding? And they are jealous of some of your properties. They are jealous of your children. They are jealous of many things. And they will use all of this so-called Ambazonian struggle as a way to get back at you. But we are getting smart. And that is why we're saying, hey, young people, we're going to put you guys to order. You see what I'm saying? We'll put you guys, we cannot watch our generation go down. You've killed too much of our generation. You've killed too much of them. And we just want to say right here, we draw the line. We'll put you guys to order. And we have a perfect plan. You guys keep playing. You see what I'm saying? We are not naive. We are not. All the sweet talk that you guys keep pouring out, we're watching. You think because you've shut the mouth of those in Bamenda and you think, oh, Christmas went on and they didn't come out, is because they honored you. They didn't. They were scared of their lives. And their lives, they are smart. They are not dumb as you. That's why you keep fighting. You cannot like, oh, let me sit back and think. That's why you keep doing what you're doing. But they are smart. They will not go lose their lives because they are trying to prove a point to you. But I encourage, especially those in the diaspora, start speaking up or cut pieces of my content and start distributing them. Sensitize the public. Denounce these malpractices. There is no independence. These people have not even read to understand where their nation stands with all these ideas that they have in their head. They've gone to every nation on earth and they have been rejected. They've told them no. And you hear some of them say it with their own mouth. Let's keep watching.
We will never surrender our rights. These are fundamental rights that are recognized by the international community and all the charters of the African Union and the United Nations Organization. We cannot give up on our fight. But we must also acknowledge that for 7 years, since we started this fight, with the popularity of our cause in the international community, with the sympathy to the Ambazonian people, our various organizations have failed to capitalize on the capacity of our people to win this war. And for 7 years, we have had zero recognition, and now we have a negative response towards our aspiration for outright independence. Our people are suffering. I declared this truce to relieve our people from the pain of war, the burden of war.
So you heard that? They've not had any international recognition. It's coming out of this gentleman, Kapodani. Because we have to get to a place where people of Northwest and Southwest, you have to start getting these people out of your midst. Anyone with a gun trying to terrorize you guys get them out of your midst. If they don't want to drop it and listen, and they live in the bushes and they're trying to make sense out of this madness, you guys got to get them out of your midst. 2024 is going to be a year that we are laying the foundation to start developing that nation, the entire nation of Cameroon. And we are not going to take it lightly with distractions. I don't want to be 60 and sing the same songs they are singing. And you young people, you should not be in your 60s or 70s and singing the same songs that these old folks are singing. Take your destiny into your hands. You've heard it from Ronald Reagan. The greatest deception is I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And yet they think that they are the government and they are coming to create all of this illusion for you. I mean, it fascinates me. Today we have materials out there for everyone to read and educate themselves. I don't know why we're putting up with this. I don't get it. Why are we putting up with this? Why?
It's individual survival. Take note, they came in with individual preferences, individual objectives. We are in the 21st century liberation war, uniquely Ambazonian. No foreign support, no backup.
Yeah, that.
I know you people have been disappointed. We cannot move forward when we are stuck in the past. How do we go forward?
I like that. We cannot go forward when we are stuck in the past. When you say that, you only think about this in the context of the people that you are teaming up with on this agenda. We got to really go past the past. You know this. You have this rhetoric in your vocabulary. We should let go of the past. Whatever that past is. the past of 1960, the past of 1961, all this past that you guys are stuck in, it's not helping. We have to go past the past. Keep listening.
Considering the disappointments that we have had.
Go. Other than
So he was actually saying that, addressing the issue of Shina Rambo, one of their formidable soldier that surrendered himself and said, I don't want to be part of this anymore. You guys are you're full of it. And I've tried to put up with this for past 7 years, and I feel like my life is going down. I can't continue. And then he back up. He's like, I'm backing out of this. And he did. And he's helping the government right now to restore peace in Northwest. That is a fact. This is the reality, guys. Cho Ayaba is not about jargons. It's not all about this apocalyptic rhetorics that you use to confuse the people to think that you're that smart, of which you guys are not. You see, so all of these sophisticated rhetorics that you use to articulate and present your problem or your perspective in a way that we need an interpreter, we need some spokesperson to speak for you. I mean, it's interesting, guys. This is somebody that is coming from the English speaking zone, and you guys got to be struggling to understand him. I mean, it's interesting. Are you following? It's interesting that we want to follow this. I've read all their manifesto. I've read all their documents based on the whole idea of the Ambazonia. Guys, I just want to tell our young people, it's full of garbage. It's full of garbage. It will take you guys nowhere. It is an illusion.
Ourselves. And when we look within ourselves, can we harness our capacity? No, we can, first of all, not unite, let alone harness our capacity to defeat La Republique.
Okay, he just said something important. We cannot unite. My question to you is, when you blame Paul Biya, because this is how I look at things, right, from the macro perspective, you've not been able to unite or work as a team with Capo Daniel. You've not been able to work as a team with Sako. You've not been able to work as a team with Chris Ano. My question to you is Paul Biya the cause? Because when I say it's a responsibility, it's not about Paul Biya. You guys got to fix yourself. You got to agree and fix yourself. And I have a path to us achieving this. And I've said tribalism is one of the things we got to get rid of it. All of this nepotism, we got to get rid of it. Because they've just manifested tribes at the level of this struggle. They've created their tribes with their ideologies, and they are really fighting one another. My question to you again is Paul Biya the cause of you guys not uniting? People will blame and adopt the status of victim. They are interesting to watch. Just keep watching them. They will manifest who they really are right before your face. Victims, it is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. You see what I'm saying? Victimhood. Victimhood is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. People will not take responsibility for their actions, for their lives, for their nation. You grew up in a nation where you were looking up to the president to do everything for you. And that is what you were sold. And you said Paul Biya did not come up with his own part of the bargain. Really? You build that. You make it happen. You start a business. Go be a doctor and help people. That is what you guys ought to be doing. Go be something. Do something. You cannot substitute laziness with Ambazonia. I just want to make it clear. You cannot substitute laziness with Ambazonia.
Have leaders who are fake people, who are imposters, misrepresenting themselves and their organization, delusional people, some with mental illness, but we don't recognize them and we don't know because data is cheap, Android phone is cheap, and everybody can say their own thing, and the population are confused. But listen to me, and listen to me carefully. I have represented our country to the best of my ability and represent it to the highest level more than anybody you can imagine.
Wow, that is what Capo Daniel is saying. That is a dangerous statement, which means you've been one of the architects of this entire initiative. And as we keep watching, I just want to say this. One day we hear Capo Daniel saying the struggle has failed. The next day he says we keep fighting. We got to get a stand, right? Where do you stand? Where do you stand? If you don't want this violence to continue, can you come on your platform consistently denounce this, reject it, and stay on that point? And let people, how can you trust a leader? The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Can you have a spot? At least we understand all the other people and where they stand, and so we can know how to address them. Where do you stand? When you're confusing like that, I mean, it's dangerous. Let's keep watching, guys.
More than anybody you can imagine in this struggle, not in our history, of course. And I'm here to tell you, our people, that it is time for us to sit on the table and have a consensus that it is time for us to negotiate with La République du Cameroon. If we cannot get what we want, that
Ambazonians, these are your leaders. Just listen to, I mean, you got to talk straight. I got to be able to understand what you're saying and your point. Now we got to negotiate with La République. Okay.
will secure our border, our sovereignty, and give the right of our people to govern themselves. We will still continue to fight for a better option, and we will be in a better position to appeal to the international community to reconsider our case for us to have the type of negotiation we had in Canada. It is very important that our people know whether we can win the way it is or things need to change before we can win. We must be able to do that because that is the responsible thing to do. The solution I have pushed.
If I want to do in a ghost town, take.
Are you guys seeing how? Because what I see with Capo Daniel, just listening to him briefly, is like he knows they've lost. This whole facade has been exposed. He knows they can't win. The strategy he's applying is, I want to speak for the struggle and I want to speak against the struggle, so that at the end of the day, if the struggle succeeds, okay, I will stand on the side and the people will welcome me. If the struggle fails, then I will join with the entire population and then we can stay in Cameroon. You cannot do that. You got to pick a side. When you guys go to watch a soccer game, most of the people coming to sit down there, they know who they are rooting for. And this strategy you're trying to use, we're noticing it. We're seeing it. But we know what you guys have done so far. And picking a side is better so that we know your stance. Are you against the struggle? If you are against the struggle, then go ahead and voice it out. And keep doing that on your channel. Denounce the struggle and let your boys on the ground stop killing people. Let them drop their weapons down, get a job, figure out something with their lives, and quit this.
To Yaoundé. If I want to do when I want to ban public transportation, when I go ban them for Yaoundé. If I want to kidnap, when I go Unity Palace, when I go kidnap. If I want to fight, when I go barracks, military camp, when I go for Yaoundé, all that thing and they for don't come up. I'm a boy they don't do them again now. I'm a boy they don't kidnap Mr. Tem Gerard, principal for GHS, Ben Nakuma, for that side for no.
See, the young people are beginning to wake up. Have you noticed that most of the people talking against this struggle right now are young people? They are beginning to open their eyes. They sat back and watch you guys. and they are beginning to speak up. And this is one of them. So just watch.
Northwest region of Cameroon. As we return now to the principal, the cry, I need the back inside some video where they circulate online. Say make a friend them and Ellis them, they come for a rescue by paying the ransom way the Amber boy they ask them for it before it will be released. The Amber boy they don't come out why they kidnap Mr. Tem Gerard, principal for GHS Benakuma. The Amber boys they be tell principal say me make some video for call out some Ellis them and his friend them, me they come to a rescue. That means me they can pay the ransom way they ask them. If not, they go send principal, make you go visit the ancestor where they call say Abraham. Make una hear the names for the Ellis and the friend the way principal they call and say me they come for a rescue. Principal, over to you.
I'm pleading that something should be done to take me out of this dilemma. I want to thank people in advance, please. The elites, please. We are also like friends and brothers in the same division. Do something for me. Do something for me. Do it fast. Do it very fast. I count on you people. Stand by me. I'm calling on you, Senator Sekedi. I'm calling on you, my friend, you president of Ishabi Cultural and Women Association, Mr. Pachevinson. I'm calling on you, my classmate, Mayor Hingo Solomon. I'm calling on all of you, my friends, Honorable Walan, and the rest. Please, do everything to take me out of this dilemma. My poor wife, my family has done something little, but the little is not good enough. It is instead provoking the fighters. So I want to beg, and I'm pleading, I'm on my knees begging and pleading.
As soon as hear principal talk say his wife and his family members they don't first contribute some money, give for the Amber boy then so that make the release principal, but the Amber boys then collect the money, talk say na provocation. That means say the money over small for them. Say if they don't add more money, they go send principal may go meet up Abraham with immediate effect, kidnappings and asking for ransom. Now to all the Amber generals and to all of you carrying weapons in the name of Amber or inside ground zero, is it that you don't have sense or you have refused to have sense? When I receive orders from Amber leaders the way they did for abroad, when I execute them for ground zero, who's on the sleep for bush? Waiting on the chop garbage. Who's at them the sleep? Good comfortable houses. Waiting they the chop better chop. Why if they say them they no fit go for forest, go stay for day? Why if they say they no fit sleep for that cold too for abroad? For sure when I say no, all una dey all una dey feel na the same pain for inside the struggle. Amber leaders them abroad, they tell una generals for ground zero say una go kidnap una own people them ask ransom. Una dey obey go kidnap ask ransom. Una don't ever hear say any Amber leader abroad kidnap la Republic person for the. Una ever hear? Papi they come out Cameroon, enter abroad. Supporters they come out, a fan club they come out, they can dance, sing, shout. Don't say Papa ele ya to Papa.
You hearing that? They still welcome your president abroad. And again, I'm saying it when you're looking at your president and you're trying to analyze situations and you say, hey, he's been there forever. He's a reflection of your community. Your chiefs and your funds stay in power forever. What do you expect at the level of a nation? What do you expect? Start solving that problem. Make sure that your chiefs don't get in power based on birthright, based on competence. Start fixing that problem. These studies that you guys have had, I really wonder the kind of education that you guys really had in the West. I really need to check your curriculum. What did you guys study to come up with this kind of ideas that you have in your head? That you continue to let people die and you keep thinking that somehow this illusion is going to be a reality after you've been told by the same people, the same West, the same Britain, the same France, the same United States of America, Canada, the people that you assume that they created a demarcation and gave you independence said no. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? That the people that created the demarcations, gave you the colonial language that you're speaking, said no to your idea. And yet you continue trying to go against the same demarcation and independence you claim they gave you. Is this even making sense? It's interesting how people can be delusional. You guys got to hold some of these guys, man. They are running out of, they're going mad. They are going mad. Don't think they're rational. They are going mad, seriously.
We give you more 50 years. Amber leader, the Siam, you don't ever hear say them capture one of this person abroad. No. Why if they say them will tell you say kidnap your own people then back home, you go kidnap, you go execute them. Why? Between you and them abroad now, so now we no get sense. When I stop government schools that operate for Southern Cameroon, say when I don't provide other schools the way they be cheap and affordable like government schools, the way parents they go send their picking for them. When I
you see that? Very soon, so, oh, we've created a school. We've created a school. I mean, is that school accredited? Is that school? What kind of school have you guys created? You would have been creating schools within that same nation if that was your intention. Within that same nation, you could build businesses. They're looking at resources. People will fold their arms and look at resources like that. Be careful. Be careful of them. Be careful of those kind of people.
All parents, if you afford school fees for that private school where we not permit and say me they operate. We not know how many people the way they need to go school because of this one decision. Now we country where we want billion with uneducated civilians. Now first day when I say government they make money from education. Secondary school fees now 5,000 per student for 1 month. Government they pay secondary school teacher now more than 200,000 for 1 month.
Are you guys understanding how free it can be in Cameroon? That you can go to school from primary school right up to university and it's almost free? And do you know how much they pay your teachers? He's explaining that. Because some of them were like, oh, no, that's not, no. I mean, you want a perfect nation. Like you are perfect. Have you done all you can to make sure that you provide for your own kids? And yet they fold their arms and don't blame you for not taking care of them. Have you provided for your spouses the way you should? And yet they stick around with you and they don't complain about it. You think it should be a perfect nation, don't you? Amber guys, please, they are using you guys. I have a lot of grief in my heart because I can see this manipulation. It is so clear. They are using you as a pawn. No matter how many million you make from kidnapping, you will go down. The guy that just died, the guy that conspired with a bomb in T-Junction. I mean, again, when you're fighting, who bombs cities? Who tries to destroy a city when you're fighting a war? The strategies of war are very clear. Every time you're fighting, cities are protected. It is hard to build cities. We protect them. You're like, oh, is there even a city right there? That's what you say, right? But I want to ask you the question, who destroys cities during war? Who instructs people to destroy a city during war? We are not dumb, guys. We are not dumb. You see what I'm saying? And I've just explained. One book that I will give you guys so that you can educate yourself is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Read that book from cover to cover again and again and get some knowledge. Read that book. It will help free you from this mental slavery.
Now, when you ban government schools from operating, you permit the government to save money because schools they need to go on. The money will be get to use and to pay the teachers. In the pocket them, and the consequences now waiting. The teachers will lose their job and the children will be illiterate. The same public school where these Amber generals them are brought, the tell una generals them for ground zero say make una implement their ban. Now the same public school where they send their picking them for they are brought for free. Now tell me, you general for ground zero, where you implement the ban of government schools them and the Amber leader where you receive orders from, where it is sent in own people for the same government school for free. Now will not get sense. But when they give you orders abroad, they send it people for government school for day. But if they tell you say ban your own government school for your own place, you the obey. They will never come back to Cameroon. They get nationalities there for that country. That one a group, that one a fighting group when I don't create and say when I fight, when I don't prepare for fight. One of their picking them, let me say, these Amber leader them abroad, escape one of their picking them or their family member, they among that one a group them for Cameroon Day. One of their picking them they no. Why if they say themselves they don't come back for Cameroon, they come stand, then fight. So that when they kill them, they go don't say no, this leader left abroad, came to fight for this struggle and they kill him, make his name enter record too. Why if you say na only una they go kill him, then they talk say no, he don't die for the struggle. This man had died for the struggle. Why they not can die for the struggle? Why? Why just one of them never come back and die for the struggle? They use una life play boy, make una get sense.
So I said it, and I'm happy that the young people are rising up and to see the light. Amber guys, let these leaders understand that you want them on the ground. They will back off. They are cowards and they will run away. If they have the courage and they think that they are smart to challenge me, go on the ground. Get a flight, go down to Cameroon and fight with the soldiers, and let's hear records of what you've done on the ground. Not just watch them, but go fight with them. If you think you're brave enough to challenge me or think they've paid me, prove to your people that you love them by going down there and fighting for them, fighting with them. Be on the battleground and fight. And prove to me, if you do that, hats off, I'll respect you. And I'll quit this podcast. Yes, I'll quit this podcast if you go down on the ground and fight with the soldiers. 5 of you, and I'm repeating that number for a reason. 5 of you should go down there. These great leaders, Chris Anu, Sako, Cho Ayaba, Capo Daniel, and the rest. Go down there on the ground. You know how to make your way into that nation and fight with the soldiers on the ground. And let's see you with a rifle, with a gun, fighting. This is sheer manipulation. That you see young, untrained boys and you put rifles in their hands and make them to believe that they are protected by some witch doctor, and then you let them go die. You guys are the greatest disappointment. I don't care even if you achieve your independence. No one is going to be part of that nation. No one is going to be part of this madness. You guys are going to be terror. You're going to be worse than any leader that we've ever seen in history. And let me tell you guys, I've been a victim of you guys. Before you see me coming up on the scene, I've been a victim. You guys kidnapped a relative of mine and you guys extorted money from us. I know the scheme. I'm not just talking out of ignorance here. You guys have been on me. And I just want to say, most of these leaders, I just want to help our people understand. They have an idea of pan-Africanism. And they have this idea of anti-West. That is what they are. I want to tell you, even if they succeed, which will never happen, but even if they succeed to create an Ambazonia, they are trying to pick up an idea like socialism or communism. That is what they really believe. Like, oh, they'll create everything for you. That's the illusion that they have. And that system doesn't work well, right? We know that. We know socialism, communism, it doesn't work. If their own people, their rival gangs don't kill them, they are going to provoke the West and they will destroy every Amber. That is what is going to happen. That's the fate of you Amber boys. These people are going to provoke the West. People that are strong, great, as they are not scared of the government of Cameroon. It's the same initiative and spirit that they have towards the West. They will destroy them one way or another. Their fate is death. There's no way for them to come back home. They are not free like you because they are on exile. They will never come back home. And that's one of the reasons they wouldn't want to give up. You see what I'm saying? Because if they give up, there's no hope for them to ever return to their homeland. It is a dreadful thing. It's a painful thing to die abroad and your cops never sees your ground or see your nation or see your village, and they're fighting at all costs to make sure that they achieve that. That is the pain that you guys got to deal with. You see what I'm saying? But if you guys do drop this, there's a way to help you guys out. There is a way to help you guys out if you just drop this and people stop dying. Let's keep watching.
Generals for ground zero, they when they impose ghost town for ground zero. What is the benefit of ghost town? When I say ghost town, they affect la Republic. Ghost town, they affect na southern Cameroon 100%. Number one, it is shorten picking their learning days because picking they need to go school for Monday. Number two, business people they need to open their shop for Monday. Where it means that Monday they need to make market they lost. And on top of this, they can't lock their store, then ask money for them again. That means they need to make market.
Okay.
There's no hiding.
So I just want you guys to understand, when people do not work hard to build a nation, which is what I'm initiating, and I have a concrete plan to help us achieve that. The whole nation. We're not going to leave Paul Biya struggle with this responsibility all by himself and blame him at the end of the day. We got to work. Even if the next president comes on, we still got to work together to make sure that we achieve this. You see what I'm saying? We will not just let this responsibility, this burden, after traveling abroad and seeing what works, and we come back and still keep thinking that the government is a problem. This is why I don't understand what these guys are up to, because some of them live in the West and they've seen how companies, some of them work in businesses not owned by the government, and they think this way. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's absurd that 90% of the jobs in America here, maybe Canada and other Western nations, most of those jobs are created by the private sector, and they still keep deluding themselves and blaming the president. It's absurd. You can't help people like these guys. That's why we just say 40 and below. 40 and above, if you don't welcome our peaceful initiative, we don't want anything to do with you. We, the young people, will be in charge. You see what I'm saying? Ibrahim Touré just did it in Burkina Faso. And he took over the government. We cut off all these old folks, and we are not going to play any games with our lives anymore. The death of these young people is too much. The deception is out of proportion. So when you want to build a government like that, it will end up with something like Libya, the kind of government that they claim that will give you everything, and you really believe that. You really believe that. Listen to a little bit to this clip.
Revelation in Tripoli, scenes repeated again and again across Libya overnight. A word of warning, the pictures you're about to see may shock. The Libyan leader, bloodied and beaten, dragged alive through the streets after being caught in a drain. The irony of his hiding place not lost on those Gaddafi described as rats for rising up against him. This gold-plated gun apparently taken from the deposed despot moments before he was killed.
We kitchen in there, and we shot him. Somebody shot him by gun, 9 million.
These final images of a man who ruled for 42 years, a far cry from how the world used to see Gaddafi, the one-time handsome hero leading Libya to a bright new future. The eccentric dictator who fell from international grace, welcomed back into the fold, and then firmly booted out again.
Wow.
The reaction of US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said it all when she heard the news. The president also delighted.
Most importantly, I'm proud of what the Libyan people have achieved, and I think they've got an enormous opportunity ahead of them.
But now questions will likely go unanswered about his direct involvement with the Lockerbie bomb in 1988.
It provides me comfort in such that he can no longer harm other individuals.
3, 2, 1, Gaddafi has gone!
But Libyans in London are looking to the future and not back in time. They know their country faces many challenges after the celebrations have died down.
Okay. So that is exactly the kind of nation that you create when you think you should provide for the people everything and not have them participate to build that nation. It ends up like Libya. This nation had a GDP of approximately $75 billion in 2010. after the outbreak of this incident in 2011. Today, the GDP of Libya is approximately $42 billion. They've dropped almost half of what they had initially. And the nation right now is a disaster. The people who rose up and fought Gaddafi, some people will say, oh no, it's the West that did that. Yeah, whatever the West did, it's true. If there's no enemy inside, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And I want to let you know, the people of that nation turned against their own president. Most of the properties that was destroyed in Libya, it was that system that they're trying to create for you. That, oh, Gaddafi gave everybody everything. We have school, you have healthcare. That illusion. Some of them don't even have the capacity to even do that. But I mean, just give the benefit of the doubt that, oh, you guys can do it. But this is the kind of nation that you end up with. The people will rise up and destroy the properties because they didn't build it. Right here in America, I cannot encourage bombing around here because I have properties here. I have a business here. I won't say, hey, let's go do that. No, that is what happens when people build. They have that sense of responsibility and nationalism, love for their nation, because it is their property. It is their building, it's their business. You see what I'm saying? That is the difference. That's why it's hard for people to get up in America and say, we want to destroy this nation. You're destroying your own property. You're destroying your own business. People can't do that. That is strategic. And these dudes, they ain't got that. They don't understand that. They want to provide for you everything. No, you provide for people a strategy. You provide for people a plan that they can achieve their own freedom. God has given everybody a brain. God has given everybody talent. And my job is to help you recognize your talent. Because when you achieve something for yourself, you value it. You know you work hard for it. It restores your own dignity as a human being. If Pobia come create you roads, create everything for you, you don't even contribute. I mean, like, where do you guys think money come from? Only the resources? No, people produce. In America here, people produce. That is why the economy thrives. People produce. It's not the money in America, the money that helps this economy to thrive. It doesn't come from some mineral resources in the ground. It comes from taxpayer dollar. People who work hard and they pay taxes. If you guys, the citizens of a nation, don't create jobs, don't build your economy, there is no way for you to think that the government will do all of that for you. You see what I'm saying? I'm following in the foottracks of people like the Vanderbilt. People who rose up in this nation and build stuff for themselves. In this nation, America, build the railroads, build every establishment and institution that you see. At the dawn of the civil war in this nation, the whole world thought America's democracy is a facade and this is going nowhere. The inhabitants of that nation rose up, and that is what I want for us young people in this dispensation, that 2024 we rise up just as America rose up at the end of the Civil War, and we had people within that nation becoming entrepreneurs and transforming the course of this nation. We too can do the same. We can rise up and start being creative, start being productive, start being collaborative, start working with each other, and let this bad spirit of division. It started with Foncha. The division continues till today. Division. These people cannot unite because their heart is not good. Their heart is not good. Their intentions are not good. That's why they can't unite. That's why they cannot unite. If I have pure intentions, just like I'm talking right here, and I want you guys to be able to do it for yourself, so you value yourself and value and protect your own products and protect your own communities because you contributed to build it. This is what they don't have a clue about. They don't even know how to inspire you to go ahead building that. They don't know how to do that. It was quite interesting that someone sent a clip to me saying, oh, these people were talking about me. Some of these guys, they went on their channel and they pulled up my video and said, Pobia paid me. And I'm like, I want to really listen to what they said Pobia paid me to say, which is interesting, guys, because I was thinking to myself, if they can think this way, then it tells me more of who they are. It shows the world who they really are. You guys are going to pay dearly for this. If you back off now, it is going to be better for you. But you guys are going to pay dearly for this. The nations that you're hiding in will not keep you there forever. So listen to what this guy said about me.
That stupid this is. Let's see it, please.
This story is a classic example of why we are poor. I have never seen Paul Biya in my region. I've never, except one time that he ever visited. I have been dealing with neighboring tribes and people from other villages, and I want to say the problem with why Cameroon is the way it is, Northwest is the way it is, Southwest is the way it is, the entire nation is the way it is because of the people and not the president. The president doesn't run the nation. He runs the nation through people. And if he allocates resources and money for a deal, a governor to go construct a road, and the road is not constructed, is not entirely the fault of Paul Biya, but also the governor. And because the governor might amass that money because of this cultural difference and traditional and tribal beliefs, he would prefer to allocate that money towards his own village, or take the money, send it to a foreign account, and you don't see anything, and you think Paul Biya is the problem. We are the problem. By the time we see our nation as our nation, and we see that if it ought to become what we want to see it, it is up to us. We have to get to where stage 2 is and do what we need to do.
Mr. Spokesman,
yes,
what do you make of this? Is this how desperate La Republic has become? Please help us understand why these Bulu people are not giving up on this fail, divide, and rule strategy.
Mami, that is divide now. Ambazonia is in divide. You know if it divide Ambazonia. If it money, you know. Look, see La Republique. Look, La Republique. It be okay for La Republique for do nation building for La Republique. That one are their business. They talk about La Republique. You know, concern we.
You know, one thing I find fascinating, they cannot challenge what I'm saying because it's based on principles, it's based on facts. I'm living what I'm saying right here in America. It is one thing to have an illusion. Have you ever built a nation before? Have you ever built a successful business before in your life? They wouldn't even answer that. I've done that. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? They cannot debunk my statement. They will go like, oh, they cannot divide us. No, say something about what I said and disprove me if it's wrong. They don't have that. All they will do is insult you. You see what I'm saying? People who don't have a clue about what they're doing, they resort to insult. They will also, oh no, it's divide and rule. There's no divide and rule here. This is what I'm saying. We don't encourage individual thinking in our community. When you see people thinking for themselves, you think otherwise about them. And that is why we can't grow. You see what I'm saying? We got to start learning to see people that are strong, brave, courageous, know who they are, because God made me and I know who I am. You can't cage me in a box based on a nation where I was born. That is a fact. And so when I speak individually, I'm unique. I believe in what I'm saying and I stand. You have to stand with a group to talk. I don't stand with any group. I don't stand. I am, because that's why you guys, you go do the things you do to people because you disagree with them. I'm a single individual. My dad raised me to question any wrong thing that I see, stand strong, be brave, and he encouraged that attitude in me. One day you guys got to know, but I want to let you know, I come from a descendant of warriors. I come from a descendant of warriors. And this madness will stop and we'll have peace in that country. You guys don't have it. I really watched, like, after you watch my video, like when I'm analyzing your videos, I say something afterwards that makes sense based on what you said. And you guys go back to your group thinking. It's too myopic for me to wrap my head around it. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? This is what they do to you. They'll find vulnerable people and deceive them like this. But I'm telling you guys, I'll walk together with you guys and you will be free from this tyranny. Together, we will do it. In less than 1 year, all of this trash will stop. And say you don't have a problem with nation building? Really, you don't?
That one are their problem. The problems of La République are the problems of La République. They not concern we. La République not fit divide we. The time we La République use the elite for divide we don't pass. Because it be been a survival strategy for them for keep the occupation system in check. That time don't pass. We don't enter now for the face. Not be only for liberate and end these divisive tendencies and policies of the occupier for keep the Ambazonian people them weak. Nationalism don't unite what people them. Patriotism don't unite what people them.
If we go to camp,
and he is saying that when their camp, I know Cho Ayaba is not in good terms with Capo Daniel. And he's saying they can't divide them. What are you talking about? Can you go under the charts, those who are watching, and write the group of people that they don't go along with? What kind of unity are you guys talking about? Fix yourselves, guys. I know the most difficult thing for people like you, thinking the way you do, is to look at yourself in the mirror. That is the person you cannot deceive. Look at yourself in the mirror. You cannot deceive that person that you are seeing.
Drown not just our fighters, where they then become, for the most part, representative for the armed resistance, but it could destroy any prospect for our independence. For instance, Bamenda, Chi Omega, Ayabacho, he own thief man. Man when a bad amber, because we know good amber.
They are united. They cannot divide them. And the next clip, this clip was uploaded of Resin, and this is another leader saying this group, they are full of it, and they are thieves. Are you guys seeing? Yet he will say they are united. See all of these contradictions. Wisen up, people. I mean, if I hear that an Amber soldier, after listening to my content, because you got to stay on this channel like for 10 hours to understand where I stand, understand my content, and let it sink in you to make a statement about what I'm saying here. And after listening to me for about 10 hours, and you still think that you should pick up a gun and go on the street, then I'll say you've decided your fate. You've decided your fate. And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Because the first step to helping a people come out of bondage is education. Is to fix their minds. Mindset, paradigm shift is the first step to you recalibrating your thinking and coming out of obscurity and carving a compelling path for your own future.
No bad amber. Good amber in the way they fight La République every day. Like the one there for inside Bafou Road there for my 37, my 33, where they go attack Cameroon military. Then bomb their motor. Cameroon army die for the Oman celebrate them. That one a good amber. Bad amber in the way they need to fight now for against La République. They need to fight for political agenda. They fight now for individual them. They carry out now banditry. They destroy the struggle. Like Chi Omega wa bidan tell na sings. Say na yi na we ayabachuwa mi ru Bamenda, mi ru the ADF de for Bamenda. Today they don't kill it. The Cameroon Janan they don't kill it. Abidan tell na say Chi Omega na arm robber na thief.
They said they don't kill them. They just killed one of his generals. And it is said that he was part of the conspiracy that placed the bomb in T-Junction. Destroying cities. Who fights a war and attacks a city? Who does that? Who fights a war and destroys a city? Not even in the French side, in your own town, for crying out loud. And yet we have people supporting this. I mean, our people have lost their minds. Our people have lost their minds. I don't know if it's fear that they've put in you, or you have some property back home that you're protecting and you're afraid to say something because if you say something, they will kill you. Or you have some siblings back home that if you say something, they will kill you. You guys got to speak up. You guys got to call this madness. In 1 month, we can all agree and this whole stuff stops. And all those rival gangs, I don't care how strong they are, we will stop them. Even without the military, we will stop them. Enough is enough. There's no rationality in your actions. We don't see no strategy in your actions. There's no wisdom in the way you guys carry yourselves. Stop. When they label you guys terrorists, you say, oh, they call us terrorists. You guys are acting consistent with that of a terrorist.
Man. And are the only type of people that follow people like Ayabacho, where they run turn for use this struggle for fight against Christmas, for kill innocent people, then for Gozang. Innocent people then blame them, say na black leg them, where they don't get no proof, evidence, and they on the contrary. Those are murders. Those are murderers. They are not freedom fighters. Ayabacho is a hardcore extremist, a murderer, and not a freedom fighter.
He said they were united, and this is a leader describing who they are. This is a leader describing, because these videos that I'm analyzing is not just me saying what I'm saying here. It is coming out of the mouth of the leaders. Your own leaders are describing for me what is going on. They're describing to me what is going on. And I'm just throwing my 2 cents into it to help bring clarity and create a compelling perspective for all of us to see what is going on. They're saying all of those things. They're saying it. What is different from what I'm saying compared to what he just said? I just help you have clarity and have perspective so you make the right decisions for our own nation, for our own people.
He has proven it again and again. Thank God that he does not have power and influence. Otherwise, they could have been kidnapping Francophones like he had ordered. That order have not currently Pekin.
So you see that? They don't have it. They don't have the power and the influence to attack the people that they claim is their real enemy. This is what their leader is saying. So guys, it is that basic. Our nation has existed for more than 551 years based on our research. Not the 44 or 45 years that we were under British and French rule that we will take to be a determinant of our destiny. Are you guys following? And I believe that we can fix our nation. And this is the difference with me and someone that just criticizes people. I carve for you guys a path. I believe that we can be able to transform Cameroon in the next 20 years, the whole nation. And that is the blueprint that I have to transform the whole nation in the next 20 years. In the next 20 years, we will have at least 3 million millionaires in dollar in Cameroon in the next 20 years. And we can have that in 10 years even. Yes, we can have at least 3 million Cameroonians with a net worth of about $1 million in the next 10 years. My strategy is simple, and the goal is that our GDP, our national GDP, should be up to $1 trillion in the next 20 years. We will become a first world nation, the first world nation in Africa. There's no country in the entire continent of Africa with a GDP of up to $1 trillion. We will achieve that if we have 3 million Cameroonians with a GDP. This is a population of about 27 million people. I just said just 3 million. 3 million people with a GDP of at least $1 million. And we can achieve that. It is very possible because we are not going through the government to do that. We, the people, would do that in collaboration with the government. If there are certain laws that we need the government to work with us to make that possible, we will collaborate. Guys, let me tell you something, guys. The reason why we've had a hard time in Cameroon is because this group of people have chosen to be stubborn towards the government, to hate the government. And you see like what happened with Gaddafi? You feed those kind of people, they will rise up someday, gang up and kill you. If Gaddafi was smart enough, he would have restricted resources, of which I think our president understood that. Restrict these people. Just give them enough so that they stay alive. But don't give them enough that they will kill you. So that they work for themselves, which is good. But what I want to help you guys understand is when you raise people like that, they will rise up someday and kill you if they did not work for it. Gaddafi's story is a classic example of that. And I will not encourage our president to do everything for the people. There are certain things he should do, but I will not encourage him to do everything. And then what is the need? Why did we come to this war? If we want the presidents to do everything for us, why are we here? We just want to fold our arms and eat and go around. Man, who does that? Rock the world. Move around. Start a business, fail and try something again and again. Research, network, try to put up a plan. You should do something with your life. It is exciting to be and feel alive when you are creative. Who does this? What kind of laziness is this that we try to propagate and get people to just fold their arms and have the government build roads, build schools, provide for you social security, healthcare, everything? Where is the money going to come from? You guys got to be productive, and the taxes is going to provide for the vulnerable among us. That is our system that works right here in the States. So that is my plan. We will empower our young people. They don't even have a clue about what they're talking about. People travel abroad. Everybody is fainting for themselves. No, we will have a plan. There are a lot of people we will send abroad to go study. And my plan is simple. There are 7 industries that are transforming the global economy. And we want to be able to get a hold of these industries and develop talents in Cameroon that will operate and help us to thrive in these industries, including the industries that are already doing well in Cameroon. We will look at how to expand them. That is my plan. We'll be able to introduce plantation agriculture that at the end of the day, people will not be using holes anymore to farm. Because when there is food, people can now start focusing on other industries, just like America is doing. Today, there's plantation agriculture. So with that, many people don't farm. If you live in America, you don't farm, right? But food comes. But are the people folding their arms and just eating? No. What are people doing? They focus on other industries, other tertiary industries that is helping to enhance the economy. That is a system that works. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Why we will succeed is because we are looking at what has worked for Americans, and we are going back to look at what America did, not now, because that's what is confusing our people, because they see what the West has right now and they want to pick it, pluck it in Cameroon and expect it to play. No, it is a gradual process. I go way back to look at what America was doing after the end of the Civil War, because we are coming out of one. And I look at what they did at that stage of their development, and we are going to follow that track. Does that make sense? We look at what America did when they were at the stage we find ourselves in, not what they are doing now. It will confuse you. You cannot even handle what America is doing now in an economy like the one we have. Are you guys saying this is not just criticism here? This is constructive planning. We will do that. We will send people abroad to study. Our goal is to be able to get at least 3 million Cameroonians on this project. I don't want the whole nation. I just want 3 million young people who are hungry for change, hungry for transformation. And out of those 3 million people, if we end up with 3,000 that are experts in these 7 industries, they will bring about prosperity in that nation. Because I'm looking at China as well. They were sending people abroad to go study and come back to China. They're like, we're not just going to hope that everybody comes back. But what we're going to do is, if we send 101 returns, that's success. If we send 1,000 and we have 10 return, that is success. That is how you measure the progress. And my goal is that 3 million Cameroonians, out of that, if I have 3,000 people succeed, some of them will be trained from back home, will bring experts from abroad, and they will be trained from back home in these industries. And we will have machines that will help us cultivate the crops and help us to facilitate projects within these industries. And while others will travel abroad and study abroad, travel abroad was not designed for us to just come get a job and have a good life or have a good time. It is strategic. The West opened up their doors. Most of you, when you were going to the embassy, they asked you, you said you were going to go study. And they said, when you study, what will you do? You say you go back home and take care of your nation. And that is really the goal of the travel abroad program. So we will have people come train, go back home and establish businesses, establish companies, establish industries within the sectors that we've selected, the 7 industries that we've selected. That will bring prosperity. You will not fold your arms and look at the president. You will not fold your arms and wait for someone to do for you what you ought to do for yourself. We, the people, take responsibility and let the government handle the sectors that are necessary for the vital aspect of transformation or development within that nation. That plan is so simple because I've studied the US Constitution. I've looked at how the American system works. I've talked to economists. I've talked to great thinkers in this nation. Just look at their perspective and how they plan. I've studied the works of people like Alexander Hamilton. You see what I'm saying? And all of these great individuals, they laid the groundwork for transformation, and none of them were in the government. Government job, government work, government position, none of them were in the government. You ask some of them, would you want to be in the government? No, I don't want to be in the government. I know I do well in the private sector. You see what I'm saying? Those are the people I draw inspiration from. That's why I lay it down so you know it. I'm not bluffing here. I look at Elon Musk, great individual, came here, saw a problem. We need cars. We're tired of all this gas, so we want electric cars. And he made electric cars. This is an individual, the richest man, came from South Africa to America and made a difference. We can do the same in Africa. It will take a little bit of faith. It will take a mindset shift. Because if you cannot think in your brain that it is possible to achieve that, it is just a waste of time. That is why I'm showing you what your leaders are doing here, at the same time helping you to think well so that we can build the right way that will ensure sustainable development. When they are abroad and they're fighting for, you don't fight for ownership. Like they say, they own the land. It's not about owning something. It's about controlling. They don't understand this difference, right? It's about controlling. Who controls? You see what I'm saying? It's not about owning. You can own even a house here in America, but who controls America? Americans. That is the difference. That is the difference. It's too huge. It's complex for them to even grasp what I just said. But that is exactly what I'm saying, guys. I hope you got some value out of this video. So we will focus with this basic strategy. And the Cameroon dream will become a reality for every inhabitant in that nation. And that is my initiative. The Cameroon dream. It is a dream where people will not be judged in that nation based on the language that they speak. It is a dream where we will see both people from the English-speaking part of Cameroon and the French-speaking part of Cameroon, understanding that they were all one brothers under German, under the Portuguese. And so they should not let colonial influence be a determinant of their future. So they're working together in brotherly love. That is the Cameroon dream. The Cameroon dream is that in the next 20 years, we should have at least 87% of Cameroonians owning their own house and driving their own vehicle. You own homes. We'll have all of those things. You will build it. That's the difference. They might have promised you all of those things, but I just want to let you know, we will build it. We, the young people, will rise up with our own strength and power and wisdom, and we will do it. When we distribute responsibilities like this, guys, this is what happens. Some of you will start looking for ways to achieve that. Everything will not be on the leader, just like the government that they're creating and thinking that that government will do everything. That is madness. You guys will find a way. My goal is to spark your brains and instill in you this energy of nationalism that has been missing in our country for the past 62 years. Instill the energy of nationalism, you will find solutions everywhere. My goal is that by the time I'm done with what I'm teaching you guys here, you will go out there in that same broken nation that they said there's nothing good that can come out of it, and you start seeing opportunities everywhere. That is my goal. You see opportunities everywhere. Because why? When you see problems, Problems are opportunities for you to start businesses. Problems are opportunities for you to start businesses. That is the difference. If the Cameroon dream failed, we failed. It is not me who failed. We failed to take action. We failed to follow the example of a nation like America, and we choose to follow Eritrea or some communist nation. If it failed, we did not work hard enough. We did not get up early. We did not show up early on time. And these are the things they don't talk about, but these are handicaps that we have to address. Nepotism and showing up late. We have a meeting at 2 and you show up at 3. It doesn't work like that. If you have a meeting at 2, you should be there at least 1:45. Be early, be on time. All of these things they don't teach you. We will help our people model these behaviors that bring transformation, and they will work hard and build their own economy and protect it and not destroy it, even if they have disagreement with someone. That is what I'm talking about, guys. I hope this message was inspiring to you. I hope it was a blessing to you. Until next time, stay blessed. Like the video, share it with your siblings, let them watch it, subscribe to this channel, and until next time, stay blessed. All right, if you like this video, you're gonna like this other episode, and you can watch it by clicking right here.